Now at 6, Oklahoma's governor signs a bill to make performing an abortion a felony. Plus, a new law in Kansas bans municipalities from enacting so-called immigrant sanctuary policies.
At the beginning of the school year, a number of districts were facing staffing shortages so severe they had to cancel classes. And while officials say things are better now, they still need some extra help. I'm Chris Warner with that story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt today signed legislation to make abortion illegal in his state. This is KOAM News at 6. Under the new law, performing or attempting to perform an abortion is a felony, punishable by a maximum fine of $100,000 up to 10 years in prison or both. The mother would not be held criminally liable. There's no exception in cases of rape and incest, only if there's a medical emergency.
We want Oklahoma to be the most pro-life state in the country. We want to outlaw abortion in the state of Oklahoma.
What you're doing is creating a system where those who can afford to go to another state will do so.
Governor Stitt says he knows this law will be challenged in court. Even so, he plans to sign every piece of pro-life legislation that comes to his desk. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today signed a bill to ban local municipalities from enacting so-called sanctuary policies that could help immigrants stay in the state illegally. In announcing that she signed the bill, Kelly said immigration is a federal responsibility and Congress should provide a national solution for a broken immigration system. The bill was filed after 3 Kansas communities passed ordinances to provide local identification cards for immigrants and other residents, and to prevent counties from helping the federal government enforce immigration laws unless public safety is threatened. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it's turned out to be a very warm, very windy day for us today. Temperatures at times were into lower 80s, and also at times we've had winds gusting right around 50 miles per hour. But we've been dry, a lot of mid and upper level clouds. We're going to get some thunderstorms to our south tonight, Texas into Arkansas. We're going to get thunderstorms to our north. And then eventually we'll see this dry line and cold front. We'll start to get some thunderstorms and they'll march in our direction. But it's going to be late, super late tonight. Tomorrow morning, really, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So we're quiet for the next almost 12 hours. Temperatures sitting into the upper 70s right now. Very strong southerly winds. Look at our sustained winds right around 30 miles per hour. These will come down just a hair as we go through the evening hours. We'll drop back through the 70s. By morning, we'll be sitting near 60, turning much colder for us tomorrow as well. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Jasper County prosecutors charged a man for allegedly assaulting 2 people and leading police on a chase. Authorities say on Saturday, 27-year-old Mark Thomas of Joplin assaulted his elderly roommates, stole their vehicle, and began driving erratically in a Walmart parking lot. Police responded, gave chase into Duquesne, where Thomas crashed into a tree. They say he then ran to Turkey Creek and tried to swim away, but police arrested him. Thomas is charged with 2 counts of second-degree domestic assault, 1 count of tampering with a vehicle, and resisting arrest. Cherokee County, Kansas Sheriff's deputies arrested 2 people for attempting to steal from a church. One of those people is Zachary Davenport, who was wanted out of Jasper County, Missouri for property damage. Authorities say yesterday they saw Davenport wearing a mask with a reciprocating saw near a church van. Davenport noticed the deputies and got back in his car, driven by a woman, and left. Deputies pulled them over and found stolen property and drugs in the car. They say both were arrested. When the school year began, a number of districts were facing severe staffing shortages that forced some to cancel classes. KOAM's Chris Warner spoke with one district and says things are improving.
At the start of the school year, Carl Junction joined a number of other districts and ultimately had to cancel class due to staffing issues.
Well, I think last time we visited, it was right in the middle of some uptick in our sickness, some related to COVID, some to other illness. We're pretty healthy now as a student body and as a staff. So in that respect, things are much better.
Superintendent Dr. Phil Cook says they still need substitutes, but with COVID numbers at 0 in the district and overall health up, they're fine in certified positions.
But as far as support staff goes, custodians, we have a couple of openings right now. Just don't have applicants that want to come in and help us. Our kitchens are the same way, pairs. We've seen some challenges with our support staff, but as far as certified staff, things look really good.
Jill Wilkins is a library assistant at the Intermediate Center and is a paraprofessional. Paraprofessionals can oftentimes provide one-on-one support for students who need extra help.
And that really helps the classroom teacher because the para can float and go around and help those and see where they are and know if they need help, and the teacher doesn't have to stop, or sometimes the teacher doesn't always know, and the para is there that can come alongside and help with that and keep the class flowing, helping those who need help.
But like custodians and kitchen staff, paraprofessionals are also in short supply in the district, which can have a significant impact on the classroom and, more importantly, on students.
Some of the children cannot get all their work done because they have to stop and they can't keep up sometimes. Or it creates extra work for the teacher because they get their papers turned in and they realize, okay, this child is not able to get this done, we need to go back. It just creates more work.
Wilkins says she does have her substitute teaching certificate and does occasionally get pulled from her regular duties to sub in a class, stressing the need for subs and support staff. In Carl Junction, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Cook says they have several support positions open and are actively accepting applications for anyone who wants to help the district. As the temperatures warm up, road crews will be out more often working on our streets. When they are, it's important for drivers to take it slow and make sure everyone stays safe. MoDOT today hosted an event in Joplin to kick off the 2022 Work Zone Awareness Week. Employees at the event shared stories about their work and close calls they've experienced on the job. Coming up, officials with the Oronogo Fire District celebrate the arrival of some new equipment. Plus, another bear spotted at a Missouri campground, what officials say you should do if you see one. The Oronogo Fire District says it feels like Christmas in April because a shipment of new equipment arrived. Now, back in December, the Missouri Department of Conservation awarded the district a 50-50 grant, meaning the grant covered half the cost of the new equipment, about $3,000. Well, today that equipment came in, including new gloves, hoods, flashlights, helmets, goggles, and a backpack water pack.
The morale is awesome. The guys all love their new gloves, new hoods, new flashlights. It's going to help operations so much better.
The Oronogo Fire District staffs 4 people but relies on the support of 14 volunteer firefighters. Time of year when you might see more bears venturing out in search of food in parts of Missouri. And that's exactly what's happening around the Bennett Springs State Park near Lebanon. Reporter Joe Hickman has more about the dumpster diving.
I've had deer come through the campground a lot. I've seen a bunch of animals, but it's a black bear. I was truly audible gasp when you seen it. Standing, he was probably about 8 foot. He scared off really easily though, and we called conservation to let him know that we had located a bear.
The MDC did come down and shoot rubber bullets to get the bear down from the tree, and he headed in the direction of neighboring Bennett Springs State Park.
And that's where we want them to be. Bennett Springs State Park consists of over 3,000 acres, and it is a preserve and a habitat for nature.
While you would normally see a lot more trout than bears at the park, you will encounter them in lots of places this time of year because they're coming out of hibernation, and
they're very, very hungry. If it was a human, it would be the equivalent of eating over 100 Big Macs a day.
Last year, they showed up in downtown Lebanon, apparently looking for McDonald's, but they're known to cover a lot of miles in search of new territory.
From Camdenton all the way down to Mansfield. And if they see a good food source, such as trash, bird feeders, they will get into it and eat it. They have an extreme sense of smell, and they can smell things from miles away.
Lisa Cloak, who lives on the campground where the latest bear was spotted, wasn't too excited at the thought of a chance encounter at the dumpster.
I just know I would run.
We try to scare them away. We want them to be afraid of humans by making loud noises, to get them to retreat back into the woods.
I guess there is an excitement to it, but to me, it's probably more scary. I like to walk a lot, and I haven't been walking because I don't want the bear to get me.
I think all of us are just more concerned about getting him relocated before he does something that makes it a different ending to his story. We just want him to get a little bit further back. He's got all that.
Now, in our area, bears are not common, but yeah, they do visit from time to time, so experts say it's important to always be bear aware. A little bit later, we're going to hear from the Pitt State football team as they prepare for their annual spring game on Friday.
Plus, we're going to get some thunderstorms in here by morning. We'll take a look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a very warm, windy day for us today. Temperatures, they shot into lower 80s during the afternoon. Very windy. We've had winds gusting at times right around 50 to 52, 3 miles per hour. So moving a little bit. We are going to get some thunderstorms in here, but not until the morning hours. And we're talking like 6, 7, 8 o'clock for most of us. We're going to turn cooler tomorrow. Next system moves in late Friday. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's our Landers Chevrolet Tower Cam. I'll stand over the Indigo logo, but our Landers Chevrolet Tower Cam, which is looking at I-44, looking good. It's just windy. It's super windy out there. Upper 70s to near 80 in our western counties. And look at the winds all day long. We've had sustained winds, kind of 25 to 35 miles per hour, still kicking in at about 25 across the region. We're getting gusts 40 upwards to 50, and it's going to stay windy until that cold front rolls through, which is not going to occur until about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Outside right now, 78 south winds at about 26. Humidity is at 60%. Through the evening hours, slow drop through the 70s. Very warm night. Those winds really keep the temperatures up, and then we'll start to tumble as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. A lot of mid, upper level clouds, nothing going on here. We have severe weather to our south. Parts of Texas, these are going to move into Arkansas. Severe weather to our north, Nebraska, parts of Iowa. But eventually, we will see a line of thunderstorms develop into north central Kansas as our cap starts to erode, which will give us a little bit of action late tonight. But luckily, because we have this lid on the atmosphere, which won't allow any thunderstorms to really get going, we don't have to worry about much severe weather this evening into the overnight hours tonight. All right, let's go through time. We're going to do a wide vantage point here first, because you can see the thunderstorms to our north, thunderstorms to our south. We get split, and then we'll start to get a line in here by morning. We'll start to see thunderstorms getting going along that front, and then a big severe weather day out across south central, eastern Missouri, down through parts of Arkansas. So the two worst areas are going to split around us, which is good. Let's zoom in. All evening long, through the overnight hours, we are okay. Late tonight, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, these are going to be weak thunderstorms, but they will increase a bit from 5, 6 to 7. So we may get some low-grade severe thunderstorms in here. Main threat would be hail and wind. And then after about 8 or 9 o'clock, just showers and thunderstorms. We won't have to worry about any severe weather by any means. Most of the rain is going to be out of here by the afternoon, but look at our temps. We're dropping back into the 40s, so it's going to be chilly. 61 to start, drop into the 40s with a little bit of sunshine. We'll rebound right around 51 for a high. And then we're going to see a close to a freeze tomorrow night, down to 34, so definitely a frost is possible. 51 tomorrow, 63 on Thursday, back to 70 on Friday. A few afternoon and evening thunderstorms, and then most of the weekend looks pretty good. I'll put some rain showers in on Saturday.
Yeah, frost tomorrow night possible?
Yeah.
Let's get past this.
I know,
please.
we need to.
As we've told you previously, we're in the process of bringing down a piece of 4 states' TV history. This is a time lapse over the past week of us tearing down the shorter of our 2 towers. You can see it's been a slow process, especially with the high winds recently. This won't affect your signal, as we are also in the process of powering up on our taller tower. Still ahead, the Columbus High School baseball team aims to stay undefeated at home against Galena. And we're going to hear from the Pitt State Gorillas as they prepare for Friday night's spring football game. Jacob Leonard has that and more coming up.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are on the road tonight facing the Emporia State Hornets. Pitt State is aiming for the season sweep over ESU after winning each of the first 2 meetings. The Gorillas enter the night in second place in the MIAA with a 17-6 conference record. In this one, Pitt State leads 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Brett Daly is 2 for 2 on the day with 2 solo homers. Caleb Carr and Braden Hinton also have home runs for PSU. Missouri Southern also in action tonight on the road against Rogers State. The Lions trying to bounce back after getting swept by Central Missouri last week. That's what they did, winning this one 2-1. Matt Miller drives in the only 2 runs of the game for Southern. Well, the Columbus Titans are off to a red-hot start this spring. The Titans are 8-0 to begin the season, and so far, they've outscored those 8 opponents 83-15. Tonight, Columbus aims to stay perfect at home for a CNC doubleheader against Galena. Now here's game 1, first inning. Landon Midget pulls it into left field. Base hit brings Jackson Harity home for the first run of the day. The next batter, Brett Hamilton, drives this one high in the air to left center, goes off the bottom of the fence. Cade Saporito comes in to score to make it 2-0. Hamilton in there for the double. But the Titans far from done. Back to the top of the order, Jackson Harity up. Puts a good swing on it. I know the pole's in the way there, but it clears the fence out there and left. 3-run jack. Columbus scores 9 in the first. The second inning, more long ball action. It's Landon Midget turning on this one. Look, actually goes off the foul pole there and left. 3-run homer for Midget. All Columbus in game 1. Titans finish it in 3 innings, 17-0. In the major leagues, I-70 series begins tonight. The Cardinals host the Royals for game 1 of their quick 2-game set. The Royals are 2-2. Cards enter at 2-1. This one starts here in about 15 minutes. We'll have the latest from Busch Stadium right here tonight at 10. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are in the final week of their spring football schedule. Pitt State will finish up spring drills with their annual spring game on Friday night at Kearney Smith Stadium. The Gorillas will have one more practice on Thursday before hitting the field for their spring game on Friday. Now this year, like last year, it's not going to be drafted teams or anything like that. The spring game is going to be offense against defense. Now here's how the scoring will work. Take a picture, a screenshot, or whatever if you're going on Friday night. On offense, scoring kind of normal, plus they'll get a point for every first down and every 20-yard play. Now on defense, of course, turnover is the biggest way to score, but those guys also get points for forcing punts, tackles for loss, sacks, stops on 2-point conversions, and 4th downs. Anyways, here's Coach Wright on Friday's spring game.
We want to go offense and defense and get one more go at it and running our offensive plays and defensive plays, you know, 1s against the 1s and 2s against the 2s, and we want to, you know, have the flexibility to rotate guys a certain way, and so that's why we're sticking with that. And we just don't have a lot of depth still at a couple key areas. And we have a couple older guys that we want to take out of that scrimmage on Friday night pretty quickly as well. So the offense versus defense format sets us up the best to do that.
Friday's spring game kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday night at Kearney Smith Stadium. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
A local veteran, Thomas Christie, served in the U.S. Army in 1966 and 1967 as part of the 4th and 25th Infantry Divisions. Fort Scott, Kansas native was stationed in Vietnam. He received a Purple Heart, a Combat Infantry Badge, and Vietnam Service and Campaign Medals. And we salute Specialist Thomas Christie, a 4-state hero. We've seen all kinds of weather in the last week or so. We have some more changes ahead.
Yeah, tonight's going to be warm, windy. We'll be in the 70s most of the night. We'll get some thunderstorms in here after 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of those could be a little bit stronger, maybe low-grade severe through tomorrow morning. Then we drop into the 40s, high 51. Thursday looks good. Chance for thunderstorms again by Friday, so all over the place.
I guess so. Final sports note.
I've never seen this before. Okay, so Columbus beat Galena in baseball 17-0 in 3 innings. Columbus pitcher Colt Ungehauer threw a perfect game in 3 innings on just 17 pitches.
Wow.
That's remarkable.
Light work for sure.
Yeah, to get that many outs and that few pitches. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by